Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Shade
Shade
in
in
the
the
City.
City.
I am your girl, Treese.
It's no.
And today we are jumping into our review of Before the 90 Days. I was getting ready to say Before the 90 Days the other way. But y'all know 90 Day Fiancé, Before the 90 Days. I believe this is season 6, episode 9. And it's The Big Chill or something like that. And the only thing that was chilly was I don't want to call her Chloe so bad, and I need to stop. The only thing that was chilly was Cleo's side of the bed. So if you have not already, Shade Squad, please make sure that you've hit that like button
And that subscribe button.
and y'all, let's get into it. Yeah, I'm already being a little bit shady, but let's get into
I was like, girl,
let's get shady.
I was like, damn.
So we start this episode off on a somber mode. Um, as we know, Sheila's mother has passed away overnight. Um, and obviously it's a sad moment. Rest in peace to her mother. Sheila is obviously heartbroken and inconsolable. The interpreter is asking what happened. And apparently her mother fell down the stairs, or that's what I'm getting, or I don't know. She fell through a hole in this. I don't know.
Something to do with the stairs. It sounded like it was something to do with the stairs. I know that they didn't realize it that night, but when they woke up in the morning, she was at the bottom of the stairs.
And they said it wasn't nailed properly. So, she just believes that it gave out. And so I guess this happened around 5 or 6 a.m. I don't know, when they were asleep. They were asleep. And they, unfortunately just found her down the stairs. Now she's upset, and David, she's upset. David just met her, and now her mother's gone. And not only that, she now has to go to this chapel. And apparently in their culture, they have to stay with the body for at least 24 hours. Apparently it's bad luck if you leave them before. So her and her dad are taking shifts. And so, David is just trying to think of, what can I say? What can I do? So he's like, hey, you and John Real want to come back to the hotel and just like chill out for a second. And she's like, nah, I can't do that. Can't do that. And I like, honestly, I understand what she's saying. I don't think I would be in the mindset.
Well, also it was because she had to stay with the body. She couldn't leave. She didn't. I don't know if it was that she didn't. I mean, of course, well, maybe she didn't also want to go, but she was basically saying that she couldn't go with him because she had to stay with the body. So she was like, I'm gonna just drop you off, and I gotta come back here.
And I think that's real sweet, because they drop offs is real different than mine. I don't need you to ride in the Uber with me to get to where I got. That's not, but I guess you could consider that dropping somebody off. She didn't drive.
Dropping somebody off. Because she don't got a car.
Oh, okay. So the Uber dropped them off.
But when she said, I'm gonna drop you off, if I ain't got a car, that mean I'm gonna ride with the Uber.
Oh, okay. I just didn't.
If you ain't got a car, you driving somebody off, Trees, what that mean? What you just ain't gonna say you dropping them off. You
right.
gonna say,
that's the point. I'm gonna say, oh, you gonna get in that Uber? And if you going home, do I really need to ride with you? But I get it. It's sweet. He's a visitor. I get it. I'm just trying to bring some light to this terrible situation.
You're just horrible.
So anyway, no, it is very sad. But I'm getting to the point that Sheila is not in a really good headspace at this point. Obviously, she's grieving. And she just kind of feels like she needs a little bit of space right now. David says that he was also in complete shock, wasn't really sure of what to do. And so she leaves John Real to stay with her mother's body while she goes to drop David off. And
not drop David off.
And tells him to go get some rest. Now, they attend her mother's funeral. And I said, oh, they do it like they do in New Orleans. He said David is just like, what is going on? It's like a parade.
First of all, for what got me is, this was the day on the day that it happened, they like already had a casket. They're like, brought her to, I guess, to the chapel. Like, We don't do that like that here.
No, we don't expedite it like that. You'll sit for a damn
I
2
was
weeks,
like, what?
a month sometime. I said you'll sit for 2 weeks, a month sometime before somebody decide what to do with you.
I wonder, like if they make them like pay for that stuff, or maybe it's not super expensive.
I was gonna say I don't. Over here,
and the casket wasn't bad looking either. It was like a nice casket.
I was gonna say, over here, the business of I don't know if YouTube gonna get on me.
They turn everything
the
into a
business
business
of being unalive is very lucrative over here. I don't know.
They turn everything into a business, especially
right.
me.
Right. I don't think I maybe I'm wrong. Shade Squad jumped down in the
I actually thought it was pretty dope though. That from day one she got a casket, place to, have the wake. And then I think like a day or so after they had the funeral.
Right.
And she was in the wall.
David is like, he wants to be there for Sheila. And Sheila says that she's been crying every day and night since her mother passed away. She's physically, mentally exhausted. I can only imagine.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Sheila. I'm with you. I'm exhausted too from crying.
Nels, and usually I'm the one that's emotional.
Apparently, Nels, mama.
I'm not saying, you know what? I cry when everybody, over dumb stuff. But
exactly. Every time this scene came on, you know what? When it was done, I was like, okay, we're moving on to the next. And it was some foolishness. But then as soon as this scene came back up, I said, oh my God, Sheila, why? I was.
My heart goes out to Sheila. I couldn't.
It was super sad.
I couldn't find the tears. So, and not in a bad way or shady way. So basically David realizes that Sheila is sad, and she does plan to go back to the hotel with him after the mother's funeral. And because she doesn't want to stay where obviously her mother has passed away. David says that he feels out of place with everything going on. And Sheila now has to deal with him and the passing of her mother, and feels like he may be a little bit of a burden. And Sheila admits that, right now I can't love on him the way that I need to, and I still haven't processed or really wrapped my mind around that my mother is gone. So it's a tough dilemma, because obviously we know David is here on very limited time. And I also think it also made me think, what does this mean for the future of their relationship? Because I don't know if she's going to be so inclined to pick up and try to like move to America and leave her dad, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or her son like that. So I am interested, because I actually am really rooting for David and Sheila. And I definitely think that, her family needs to help and David can help.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if this pushes them apart a little bit when he goes.
I was gonna say, because it's always had to be some drama in 90 Day, and I'm like, they're a little too aside from her jealousy, which she won't even show him. I'm like, things are, and obviously communication issues. I'm like, things seem a little too smooth. So it wouldn't surprise me if that's what it is, and it sucks because obviously that's not something a storyline TLC could write up. You know what I mean? They weren't expecting this, but I'm sure it threw a wrench in what they had going.
Yeah. The foolishness that is Jasmine and Gino. They and listen, I don't even know that it's them. I just know that it's them because she always leaves them for me. They're
yeah, because I know you love them.
So Jasmine and Gino are out and about shopping. Gino said, he's feeling a little bit better after the therapy session. And feels like it was productive overall, but he still has some concerns. But he just wants to focus on improving their relationship. So this is 20th birthday, and they feel bad that they've been bringing this girl all this drama, all this
acting a fool
with their BS for the past 2 weeks since he's been there. So Gino has decided he wanted to do something special for her birthday and get her a nice little gift. So they go get her a necklace with an L on it. It was super cute. And then Jasmine, she's like, can you show me the engagement rings? He said, you don't need one. She said, I lost mine.
I like her approach.
You said what?
I like her approach.
What? Can you show me the engagement rings?
Go for one thing and then just say, hey, that look real nice.
I definitely feel like that was her plan all along.
Right.
Definitely. But she said that she lost the last one. Of course, he don't believe this because, girl, you would have brought it up a long time ago.
Right.
So production asked her if she even liked the last ring. And she said, it was meaningful, but it's not something I would have ever bought for myself or anyone else. And actually admitted to sometimes
she clearly didn't listen to nothing the therapist said, because she still takes every chance she gets to take a dig at him.
Absolutely. And then she admitted that even before she lost the last one, she would wear her previous ring from her previous marriage because it was nicer.
Disrespectful.
I said, well, damn.
Do you think that's disrespectful?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's definitely disrespectful. Now he says, well, what if I would have worn a necklace that, my ex gave me? She's like, she
said, what necklace? Where's that? When did she give you a necklace?
My ex he's like, listen, that is not the point. What if I would have did it? Okay. How would you feel? She said, stop comparing. Okay. You was being cheap and I found a solution. Let me tell you something. Jasmine could really be a dude for real. He could really be a dude. I want to know what her sign is. So then Gino told her that basically she don't need a new ring right now. He told her that they need to focus on Liz's birthday. She's like, we already got the gift. So now it's time to move on to mine. And he basically said no, that he's not buying her a ring until the visa gets approved, but before they get married. So then why did he do that? Because then she wanted to bring up the conversation about the K-1 visa.
Right.
I've been waiting 12 months. When the hell is it going to happen? What the hell is going on? And he said, it ain't supposed to get resolved till about 13 months.
Right. She said, well, so we ain't even there yet.
She said, well, we need to get an attorney. He's like, we got 1 more month. I'm not about to waste no money. She said, oh, okay, so I'm going to waste the money. I said, oh, Jasmine.
She know how to flip it and she's very manipulative.
Yes, she do.
She know how to flip it and reverse it.
Yes, she do. So basically he said, yeah, I'm not about to let her manipulate me with this. I'm not buying a ring. That ain't what we came here for. You left the damn store. So she said, basically she's feeling some type of way because he refuses to get an attorney and it's slowing down their process to get her to the US. He tells her, look, I'm the one that did all the paperwork. I figured everything out and you're clueless. And basically she needs to change her attitude or they're going to have some huge problems. So basically he said, yeah, I'm not doing this with you today. Of course, she stands in the store in tears, crying about
dramatic as always.
The K-1 visa is a sensitive topic for her. And basically she says she's tired of him. So she goes home and says, I got you a gift.
And did y'all notice how the lady in the store was like, if I was that store owner, I'd be like, I understand y'all got cameras, but if y'all ain't even gonna show the name of this store, can y'all get the hell out of my store with this?
She was showing up looking at the camera like.
Right.
So she goes home, gives Liz a gift, basically said it was from her. She didn't even mention Gino's name. She's like, look what I got you. I thought, well. Gino said that he didn't like Jasmine's behavior earlier.
Them having, he's gonna be broke. When she comes to the US, he's gonna be broke. Can you imagine them having a joint account and her having access to his money and she's not doing nothing during the day while he's at work? Oh, he's going to be broke. Gino's about to find himself. He might as well go ahead and file bankruptcy now so he can go ahead and clear
it. Well, Gino said that he didn't like Jasmine's behavior earlier, but he did the complete opposite of what the therapist told him to do, and reacted out of anger to her anger. And he said,
I did like that he was taking accountability for his, instead of being like, well, she still has things to work on, but so do you, boo-boo. So do you. She might have a lot more, but so do you.
He said, regardless, it's Liz's birthday, and he doesn't want any of this to affect her birthday. So they decided to go out, and the entire time Jasmine is just giving him dirty looks and just like, ugh, disgusted with him. Then she even got aggravated because he didn't remember that, she took him on the causeway, and then he made a comment like, "Oh, are you sure it's me?"
I'm not gonna lie, when he did that, I said, again, I realize how sometimes my shadiness rubs off on my partner, and then when I get it back, I'm like, where did you get that from? Gino is getting quick on his toes like Jasmine. It's learned behavior. It is.
Mm-hmm. Basically, she said she's still pissed from earlier. It's one thing to not want to spend money on the ring, but another to not want to get the attorney. And she feels like he has no sense of urgency in bringing her to the US. So she feels like she's more invested, but she doesn't want to mess up her sister's birthday either. So they get to the bikes, and they're all riding together, and it seems to break the tension. Then she told him that if he's tired, he can stop because she doesn't want him to have a heart attack. He said, "You act like I'm a shriveled up old prune." She said, "Well, you ain't in no good physical condition to have sex with me, so why would you be able to ride a bike?"
I think what was the most inappropriate about this conversation was the fact that they were
there.
having it right in front of Liz.
Yeah, right in front of the sister. And he said, yes, but she doesn't speak English, right?
She might not speak English. She's not stupid.
Well, he said, well,
you gotta remember, a lot of our words relate to theirs. So even if they might not have been saying it in Spanish, I'm sure it's not too hard to figure out.
I wouldn't even want to try to figure out what the hell he was talking about.
Right. I'd be like, please, my ears are bleeding.
Exactly. Basically, he said to her that, "Girl, what are you talking about? Because you always orgasm." She said, "No, I don't. I fake it." And he refuses to believe this. But then she said, "I'm just kidding."
Did she say I'm just kidding? Because I don't feel like I ever heard her say
she
that.
Did. She said she was kidding. She did, but
that's why that's why I was actually so proud of Gino when he like let it roll off his shoulders and kept like being cool. Because I was like, yeah, okay, then okay, that makes sense. Because I couldn't understand. I said that therapy really must have did something for Gino.
Well, he said, this is the vibe he was looking for, and it really makes him hopeful for the future. So they stopped for some ice cream, and he said that, he had a surprise for Jasmine, and he gave her a promise ring. And the promise is that he will try to do better and avoid arguments with her as much as he can, and make sure he gives her the beefcake. He said that he snuck away while they were riding bikes and saw a vendor selling jewelry, and there was a ring that stuck out to him, so he wanted to get it for her. He said, he's going to get her an engagement ring when they get to the US, and apparently
and hopefully it won't be from a street vendor. It'll be from like a K Jewelers.
Yeah, because that looked like it, I ain't like it.
A reputable establishment, Mervis.
But she said she likes the ring because it has two hearts, one to represent her and one to represent him. And apparently he thinks that this was his idea to do that, and thinks it's super romantic. She said it means a lot to her that after the argument, it was Gino that was the one to make the effort to make things better. But she knows she also still has a lot to work on as well.
Statler is complaining about everything that Dempsey got do. Oh, I won't say do, but she wakes up, she talking about how cold it is. And she said,
I thought you'd be able to understand this.
No, I really don't like being cold like that. So I understand where she was coming from, but I just also, this is from I'm irritated with her because I guess I could deal with it, or I could blanket up, put on a hoodie if I know I'm just visiting, right? But you're the one that has in your mind
that she want to move
you're moving in without having a conversation with me. And then you want to complain and have all these stipulations.
But you know what I'm confused about?
Dempsey is just damn fine how she is. She ain't got no complaints about her house.
What I'm confused about though is I don't know, maybe it's like it's dangerous or something. Maybe that's why she didn't do it. But that morning she went to go get firewood. I wonder why she didn't do firewood that night. I would think, especially because it gets colder at night. I wonder why she didn't burn any firewood that night.
That's a good question. So Dempsey says she woke up happy, right? And Statler was there, but she feels bad that she's uncomfortable. She wants her to feel happy, but if she can't, there's nothing she can do. I said, well, I like Dempsey's attitude.
She said, ain't nothing I can change.
Right. We learned Dempsey is a bit of a hippie. She started saging in her apartment once Statler got up, talking about removing negative energy. And I think that she was being a little shady to Statler when she said that. She then proceeds to sage Statler's cooch. Okay. Statler says she's not ashamed that she's gone through her hoe phase, basically. And Dempsey goes off to work and worries if Statler can adjust.
She said the sage says different.
Right. And basically Dempsey's worried if she can adjust to this life because she loves it. And she ain't got
that farm is beautiful.
It is.
That farm is gorgeous.
I think I would want to be in one of the containers though. So Dempsey with the showers and
but the containers is where they make their money. So
yeah,
she's gonna have to get her own plumbing.
So
Dempsey, she's probably living on the land for free.
I'm sure
she works. So yeah, and that's how they make their money. You can't give a container that the people are paying for it.
I guess so, or at least I'd buy one or something. I know she anyway. So basically, Dempsey let us know that she is a carnival circus kid. I mean, that's what she said. Apparently, her family
she is a part of the travel community that travels around with fairground rides, is how Dempsey said it.
That's a circus.
No, that's a carnival. Not the circus. Circus is animals and tricks, not rides.
I thought circus was a better than a
circus
is carnival.
Animals.
Carnival is the one. Look at the man, pay $5 and look at the man with the missing feet, and he's 2 feet tall. That's carnival. So I was trying to give her some credit. At least
circus.
At least she was around some animals and stuff.
You can see that. You can see that at the circus too. They have like freakish people at the circus.
I'm just saying.
She says she set up the rides and the food, girl. Jesus Christ. Talk about she's a circus kid.
Call it what you want. If she stood on top of the elephant while it ran around the shit.
There was no elephant. There was no circus. She's the rides and the food,
girl. So she says that she has 2 sisters, but her older sister unfortunately passed away at 19 from carbon monoxide poisoning in her sleep. I said, damn. Right. And that obviously affected her. She left home at 18 because obviously, I guess she just couldn't deal with the grief of losing her sister. And that's when she went from couch to couch until she met her good friend, Ben. And you know what? I want to be Ben's friend too. Ben. Okay. If Ben Affleck actually looked like this, I could understand why J-Lo went back again after he dumped her. But anyway,
let me tell you something. Had I been Dempsey, I think I would have switched to the other side. I'd have said the other side.
Right.
I see twice.
She works at like a staycation resort, she says. And that's what we were talking about with the containers. Statler's complaining about the noise from them doing construction. And she has no hot water. She needs to.
Where she live at again? Where's Statler? I thought Statler lived in New York.
Texas. She's still complaining about everything that's going on. And she's like, I'm just not comfortable here, and I don't know if I could live here. No one asked you to. And she's concerned because her lease is about to end, and she has all her eggs in this one basket.
Mm-hmm. But it sounds like Dempsey was actually thinking about it too, though, because at one point Dempsey said that she doesn't know if Statler would want to live this farm life, and she said she loved it. So basically, she ain't going nowhere.
So then Dempsey wants to show her around the farm and show her, her way of living. Dempsey enjoys cooking. I love seeing that. And she does the housekeeping for the staycationers. She introduces Dempsey to I'm sorry, she introduces Statler to Ben. And she's like a little nervous because Ben's opinion means a lot to her. And he asked how they met, and Statler tells him that they met on the app because she likes English girls. I said, can we stop leading with that? Because that seems to be your like lead, and it's not, it's rubbing.
And it gives red flag.
It's giving you're still going through your whole phase. Anyway, so he says, and then she's like, oh, we met on the app. And so he seems impressed that she came all the way over here for Dempsey. And now Dempsey over here fidgeting and blushing. And
you got the impression that he was impressed?
I think he was like, damn, you came all the way over here, bro.
He gave the impression to me like he thought it was stupid.
Well, that too. But like,
oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But then I shouldn't say impressed, but more like shocked. Like, you really did all this?
Yeah, he was like, yeah, there you go. Because he was already like, okay, y'all met on an app.
Right.
And
but he said he ain't
came all the way over here.
Social media guy.
And y'all already slept together. He already seen it all over her face. He know her.
Yeah, he was like, oh, so you gave up the cookie, huh? You moved fast.
Like, I was like, how the hell he knew that?
And she admits that she did. And he says that they're like chalk and cheese. And so production is like, you mean like, or like they're like trying to understand these.
That what's chalk and cheese? He said, chalk, like you write on the whiteboard, like chalk. And then he said,
and then like the cheese that you eat is two totally different things.
I said, tell him, babe, tell him.
I said, well, that's a very good analogy. Go ahead. And then he asked her how she felt about Dempsey being in Thailand, and living her best life, partying it up. And so Statler admits that there wasn't that much communication, and she's starting to feel away because she feels like maybe Dempsey.
I think Ben did that on purpose.
I think so too. And she feels away because she feel like maybe Dempsey was out here in these streets while she was on her adventures in Thailand. So
because you a hoe, that's why. Because you a hoe,
right? Because you still
and you worried about her out there hoeing.
It always be the ones that be guilty as hell.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
you worried they're gonna do the same shit you would do.
Right. So Dempsey is making her a what looks like a lovely vegan meal. I mean, I may not want it, but shout out to Dempsey because she can cook.
All I know is there's mashed potatoes. I love mashed potatoes. I don't know what else she's making.
There's vegan potato. Okay, whatever. It may be good. So apparently Statler is a microwave girl herself. Things seem to be going well. They having wine, they cooking, they chilling. She can't peel a carrot to save her life. If I was Dempsey, what am I gonna do with you? What are you good for besides admiring my ass? Anyway, so things seem to be, I said that. So Statler tells her she wasn't expecting things to go so well because of the communication breakdown in Thailand and accuses her of cheating, just flat out, point blank, period. Dempsey is shocked that she would even think that. And it's like, no, you're my person. I don't believe in cheating. That's so wrong. And so she's like, well, would you cheat? Or have you cheated? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, it's always the cheater accusing, like I said. And
bells were going off in Dempsey's head. Like, oh,
right. So, basically she feels that Statler would accuse her, and admits and Statler admits that she's putting her whatever past issues that she's had in relationships, and she's putting that onto Dempsey, and she actually feels pretty stupid, as you should. And especially if you're gonna say something like that, come with some evidence or something. Like a missed call or a motherfucker being on vacation does not mean you getting cheated on. Chill out.
I mean, how would she get evidence, Tree? She's in Thailand.
They got social media in Thailand. I'm just saying.
That girl couldn't even call her because of Wi-Fi.
Oh, well. You got to trust. And apparently, Statler has plans to meet Dempsey's dad the next day. So she knows she got to tighten up, because if she can't get his approval, it's a hard no for Dempsey.
And it don't look like she did. It don't look like she tightened up.
Well, because she let off with her, I like English girls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You look thirsty, girl. You look thirsty. Get some water. Go.
So Riley is in a hotel talking about how it was supposed to be a nice evening and it went from sugar to shit, and like he didn't start it. Like it ain't his fault.
Like it ain't my fault.
He did that.
It ain't my fault.
He said that he wished things didn't go that way, but he felt insulted. He said, you know, he's upset with himself for letting himself get so angry, but he doesn't regret telling her that he's not putting up, basically he's not putting up with that mess. And then he blocks her. So Violet is still pissed, and she feels disrespected. I can't. So Violet is still pissed, and she feels disrespected by Riley and his friend. So she invited her daughter out for some shopping to de-stress. So she tells her everything that went on the night before, and her daughter tried to actually help him out and say, you know, maybe
her daughter was out here playing devil's advocate. I said, look at the devil.
She was pulling the trees. Mm-hmm. And said maybe he didn't know what his friend, you know, that his friend would talk like that. And she said, no, because he should have protected me. Right. And, you know, should have stopped her. But instead, he tried to force me to answer the damn question.
He did that. He did.
And that's not the type of person she says she can develop a relationship with. She says she didn't feel protected, and that's the reason her and her ex-husband didn't work out. She said after that.
I will say this, though. For Violet to be, or comes off, she seems like a very strong woman to me. For her to be as strong as she is, she seems like she's a glutton for punishment because she keeps messing with this fool. Like I would have got tired of arguing with you, especially if she must really like him, because if I don't even really like you like that, and I gotta go through all this, I would have stopped talking to you a long time ago.
Or she really want to come to the U.S.
I don't know what it is.
So she said after that, she sent him a long text and then blocked him. And basically, he got the text. Apparently, he didn't read it until production came around. He a damn lie. And what he got from it is basically that you can't ask her no questions, and it's her way or the highway. He said that he's not built that way, so he doesn't know what he wants to do at this point. Violet's daughter told her that they need to have a conversation, and she said it ain't her fault, so she ain't gonna contact him. He needs to contact her. While Riley is basically telling production the same thing.
Same thing. They both out here playing love games. That's what my note said.
So since he hasn't talked to Violet, he decided he wasn't gonna waste his trip, and he hired a tour guide. He says the night before he wanted to hop on a flight back home, but he has some time to think, and he feels really bad about his reaction to things. So then, you know, the tour guide is showing him around. They get to a cigar lounge, and he invited the tour guide to come hang out with him. So he sat down and explained everything that happened with him and Violet, and Tommy, who's his tour.
Oh, you got the name?
Tour guide. Yes. Tommy, his tour guide, told him, basically, you treated your friend like family, but here, family is real family. So maybe she would have accepted the question had it come from somebody of his actual family, you know, who had the right to ask her. Ooh, Riley told him that he got super upset and he blocked her. Tommy said,
she should be blocking you.
Block you, and you need to apologize.
I was here for Tommy. I said, you better.
Yes, me too. And then he said, well, that's even if she forgives you, because you made a big, huge mistake. And now Riley is feeling like, you know, he needs to rethink his approach to Violet. You think? I think he blocks her. So she said, you're going to have to find her. Hope you remember how to get to her house.
I'm with Violet on that.
Come bearing gifts.
You're going to work to get me back.
And for the mama, too, because I'm sure the mama heard about it.
Right. Now, Cleo and Christian, they are on day 2, and she says that she passed out after coming back home from their date, and there has been no intimacy. She's taking him to the market and stops at a little crystal stand, and he decided to buy her a crystal or bracelet or something like that. But it was really cute. It's supposed to be like new beginnings and relationships and whatever. So Christian says that, you know, the first date wasn't what he expected. He knew she was autistic, but it's a bit more, I guess, for him in person to realize that she's not really like good in, you know, large crowds, no, in just certain spaces. So he feels bad for kind of like pushing her to go outside of her comfort zone. He realizes he needs to get to know her better, and they sit down to eat. And I thought it was cute that she like fed.
I like their conversation. I thought their conversation was so dope.
I did. I like that he enjoyed the fish and chips. It's just so London. I love it. And shout out to Grisella, always hopping in the comments. Our A1 day one. We always appreciate you and love to see you in the comments. So thank you for your support as always. Christian brings up the date and, you know, how she seemed overwhelmed. Cleo feels like the first date should have been about the two of them and not him being focused on this larger group of girls that he done moved his chair over to talk to and all. And I was with her. I said, Cleo didn't say nothing wrong. And he says that he really didn't care about them girls, and that, you know, she's like, and she spins it on him and is like, so if I did that with a group of guys,
well, she said she would never do that.
Right.
She's like, because I'm here to get to know you.
Right. So he understands, and he actually feels stupid. Cleo is concerned about her being on the spectrum and how that might affect her relationship. She says she didn't like
other countries is really making these Americans feel stupid.
What?
I said all these people in these other countries is making all these Americans feel stupid. Statler.
Oh yeah. Christian. So damn education system here, I swear. Anyway, so
I think it's more emotional maturity.
Oh, whatever. So she said that she didn't like the bar. It was too small, too many people for her. Christian admits he was worried it would put a whole, you know, just the fact that it wasn't what she expected, that it was going to put a damper on her trip. And Cleo wants him to have a good time as well. And she admits to production that she often feels like, you know, her being on the spectrum is like a burden on her relationships. He feels that, but I love when he told her, but you know what? I didn't come here to sightsee.
This is the conversation I was talking about. I love
and he's like, I came here to get to know you, spend time with you.
I had actually
and he was like, and he lets her know going forward that basically he's going to try to be more considerate. And I say, you better, Christian, you better, until he wasn't. So Christian is trying to set the mood. And
until he wasn't. This was considerate. Well, what you're getting into now.
Oh, okay. So Christian is trying to set the mood and ask Cleo to make things more romantic. He tells her to play something. And I think she was like, I don't really got nothing. And he was like, well, I don't have, you know, a baby making playlist or anything. And she's like, baby making, like.
And I don't think he got her joke, because she was like, I don't think that would work on me. But I think he took it as, it's not going to get my draws. And she took it and she was saying like, it ain't going to make me have no babies.
He busts out his VR headset and they have a good old time, and she actually really enjoys it.
You know, when I first seen that, I was like, what the hell? But apparently this is how they met. This is something that they share and they love. So then come to find out she loved it. She enjoyed it. And I was like, okay, well, that was super dope. It was super romantic, thoughtful.
Look, I guess it's better that she found a person instead of an AI in the metaverse. So shout out to you. You know, I'm about to go find me an AI. I'm just gonna make up a man who's perfect. So
there's somebody behind that VR.
You are not gonna have me out here being tirade. There's somebody. It has to be. There's a deeper connection.
You know what though? What's so funny? You saw the game that she was playing, the little zombie game.
I would never play.
Ari loves that's the one that Ari plays. She loves that game.
I'd be terrified. Anyway,
she loves that game.
So then basically they get up to the room, they, you know, have a little nightcap, and, you know, she puts on her same little nightie again. And so he does feel like there's a little pressure to be intimate. And he still wants to take things slow to make sure that they're you know, intimately compatible. And she tells him tonight definitely made up for the night before. She tells him she thinks that they're both attracted to each other. And he tells her he's enjoying taking things slow. I said, okay. He tells her that he waits for the girl to make the first move. Because, you know, he can be he doesn't want to be rejected. He wants to live a soft. I knew you was gonna say that.
Soft girl era.
Right. And so he says he wants to feel wanted, and if he goes in for, you know, a kiss, he doesn't want to be rejected. But I love when Cleo was like, I know that pretty much his love language is physical touch, and he loves PDA, and he loves affection. And so the fact that he's trying to sell me on this, oh, I don't like making the first move, she's like, I feel like it's BS. And I was with her. I was with her. That's why, because the way that they were going, it was a nice night. They had a good time. They played the game. They were drinking wine. Like, I think he was setting it up for that. And that's why I say, I feel like once she made that comment, it was like, that's just mine.
I believe that too, but I think that we think that it meant two different things to him.
Right. So yeah, that was Cleo and Christian. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another review of Before the 90 Days. If you have not already, Shade Squad, make sure that you've hit that like button.
You comment.
You subscribe.
And you hit the notification bell.
And make sure that you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter. And I just want to say, I really love that I see us growing on Twitter. Y'all be listening to me. We appreciate the support. Y'all really be listening to me. When I appreciate y'all, the Facebook, the IG, it's doing what it do, and we love y'all for making it do what it do. So please continue to do so. But yeah, y'all, thank you so much. Y'all have a great evening, and we will catch you next week for another review of Before the 90 Days. Bye-bye.
Good night.